can make me.
Suzuki is an outgoing high school girl who sits next to Tani, a quiet and honest loner student. Suzuki has long been interested in Tani, admiring his honesty, in comparison to her tendency to be a people-pleaser. After finding out they live in the same direction, she gets the courage to ask him to walk home together. She is flustered and their hands touch by accident, and Tani boldly decides to hold her hand. Suzuki is shocked, but he lets go before other people can see. Yamada confronts Suzuki the next day about whether Tani and her are dating after someone saw them walk home together, and she nervously says that it is not like that, which Tani overhears. Tani says after school to forget about yesterday, thinking it was a mistake on his part. After revealing to her friends that she is in love with Tani, they convince her to chase after Tani. She confesses to Tani that she loves him, and he reveals that he feels the same way, causing her to cry in joy. On his way to school, Tani meets Yamada, who is friendly to him, and reveals he knows about Suzuki's feelings for him. Suzuki asks to walk home together again. This time they struggle to make conversation. They decide to stop at a park, and after talking through their doubts, they feel more comfortable with each other. Tani asks if she is available during the weekend for a date, and they decide to go get burgers, something they discussed the first time they walked home together. Tani accidentally shows Suzuki his search history, revealing he looked up how to keep a conversation with a girl, causing him to become embarrassed. Suzuki comforts him by saying she finds it adorable and likes that he thinks about her. For their date, they get burgers and go shopping, before eventually going to see a movie. They get matching keychains of a character from the movie and discuss the film, revealing their different interpretations. Before saying goodbye, Suzuki asks to take a picture together as a keepsake, and when she checks it later, it shows that she made a funny face. Suzuki talks with her friend Azuma, who is surprised to learn that she has a boyfriend now, revealing her boyfriend was sent to juvie. They meet with another friend, Taira, who is also surprised to learn about Suzuki dating Tani. He firmly believes there is a social hierarchy and is jealous seeing them happy without regard to this notion. He confronts Suzuki about it later, and she says that she is attracted to how Tani is unwavering to his true self. Despite their differences in personalities, Tani has to stay late to work in the library, and Suzuki decides to stop by, but is too shy to admit she just wanted to spend time with him. Tani eventually realizes and asks her to wait for him, which makes Suzuki happy. Tani grapples with what adorable means to Suzuki because of the varying ways she uses the word. Tani asks Suzuki about it, and she explains it as an endearing feeling. Suzuki mentions she is excited to learn more about what he likes, and Tani pats her head, calls her adorable, causing Suzuki to become flustered. Suzuki is excited about going to a summer festival with Tani, but is brought back to reality with end-of-term exams approaching. Yamada and Watanabe are hopelessly underprepared, so they have a group study session in the library, and Tani helps explain some problems. Suzuki checks out a new convenience store near her house, running into Yamada. They meet Taira, who is working there, and later Watanabe, who rode her scooter. Suzuki is surprised when Tani also shows up, running away because she is embarrassed for wearing casual clothes, but Tani catches up to her on his bike anyways. He expresses jealousy for her friends who have known her longer, wishing she felt as comfortable around him. Feeling more relaxed, she rides home on the back of his bike. Suzuki wears a yukata for their summer festival date, and Tani says she looks beautiful. They get food and play games around the festival. Tani surprises Suzuki by taking them to an overlook to watch the fireworks. After dropping her phone, they almost kiss, but her shyness causes her to pull away, despite actually wanting to do it. Nishi is a quiet girl from a different class who struggles to make conversation. Nishi is talking with her friend Honda when Yamada, who is friends with Honda, joins them. Nishi holds in laughter as Yamada and Honda talk, and it is explained that Yamada is attracted to seeing people laugh who he wouldn't expect to see laugh. being drawn to the common sense of humor despite their differences in personality. Yamada starts coming more frequently, using his friendship with Honda as an excuse to see Nishi, which Honda realizes. Yamada decides to ask for Nishi's contact info, saying he wants to get to know Nishi better. This surprises Nishi and Honda, but Nishi agrees, hopeful that she will feel less nervous texting. Suzuki and Tani make plans to study at the library during summer break. When there are no seats, Tani suggests they study at his house since his parents are gone. She gets to see his room, and Tani is surprised when it seems she is leaning in for a kiss, but she was just excited to see Tani's cat. As she is leaving, Tani's grandma catches them, and Tani decides to reveal that Suzuki is her girlfriend. Tani's grandma is excited, and Suzuki also reveals to her mom that she has a boyfriend. Suzuki asks Yamada how texting with Nishi was over the summer, and he describes how it was still awkward and that they did not make any progress. During the school festival, Tani and Suzuki walk around together. They check out the photography club display, which is managed by Nishi. Despite being awkward at first, Nishi ends up being able to hold a conversation with Suzuki and Tani. She is happy after that interaction until she suddenly bumps into Yamada in the hall. The story jumps back to Suzuki and Tani, who bump into Ito, a friend of Suzuki from middle school and her first boyfriend. They were pressured by people around them to start dating, but they realized quickly that dating was not right for them. Despite trying to go back to being friends, they both felt guilty and it became awkward. They say their minds and work things out, but Tani is unsure how to feel and says he needs time to think. Suzuki is worried, deciding to go after Tani, and she hugs him from behind. Tani describes a feeling of guilt for being jealous, thinking that Rihito is more her type, but Suzuki tells him that she loves him as he is. They then shyly call each other by their first names. The story flashes back to the school festival when Yamada and Nishi bumped into each other. Yamada apologizes to Nishi, feeling he has been too pushy, but Nishi explains that she was just afraid to make mistakes. Yamada says she should make mistakes and be honest with him. Back in the present, Taira is in another self-deprecating loop, and we see a traumatic flashback of a girl saying she did not like his personality. He puts on loud music to drown out his thoughts, until Suzuki and Tani surprise him. He complains that they only go to the convenience store when he is working, and they say it is more fun when he is there, which makes him happy. Nishi ends up walking home with Yamada, Suzuki, and Tani after their library shift. She gets flustered talking with Yamada, starting to realize her feelings for him. Suzuki asks Tani about Nishi in a suspicious way, confusing Tani. Taira suggests maybe she is jealous, and Tani has conflicted feelings. After school, Tani and Nishi meet up with everyone as they pass the time with bubbles. Tani is about to talk to Suzuki, but she instead runs up to Nishi, who freezes upon seeing Yamada, and hands her a bubble wand, setting her up since Yamada is holding the soap. It is revealed that Suzuki is not jealous, but is actually just trying to get Nishi and Yamada together after realizing that Yamada likes Nishi. Tani is relieved, but also embarrassed for overthinking. Azuma gets a message from an ex-boyfriend, and she feels down because of it, so Watanabe suggests they go bowling. At bowling, Taira notices a group he knew in middle school get stressed, but Azuma tells him they will not disturb them. Later, Taira asks Azuma about their old friend group, and she says it is awkward because she dated one of the guys and was talking to another, and they are now dating other girls in that group. She gets a text from one of the guys, and Taira says she should be mad. She says she can never hate someone she liked before, but Taira points out that people mistreat her because she accepts being treated that way. The following morning, Azuma approaches to thank Taira for opening her eyes to disrespectful attempts of communication, but Taira puzzles her by apologizing, feeling he arrogantly spoke out of line on how she should feel about others. Suzuki's brother and father are away, so Tani comes and meets Suzuki's mom, who is nervous and talkative like Suzuki. They are nervous and struggle to make conversation in Suzuki's room, but eventually hold hands and hug. Suzuki's dad comes home unexpectedly and is surprised that Suzuki has a boyfriend, asking Tani many questions. Tani's first birthday since they started dating is approaching, and Suzuki wants to surprise him, asking Taira and Yamada for advice. Tani can sense that Suzuki intends to surprise him, but worries that his response will underwhelm her. Taira remembers his birthday, where only Azuma remembered, giving him a sticker that he keeps on his wallet. Suzuki calls Tani at midnight the day of his birthday, wishing him happy birthday. Thinking he fell asleep, she says, "I love you." And Tani sleepily says the same thing back. His friends all give him gifts, and later Suzuki and him buy cakes from the convenience store, also giving Taira a belated birthday gift. Suzuki asks Tani to decide their next date, and he chooses the Natural History Museum, which starts out rough as the special exhibit hall was crowded. The rest of the museum was better, but again they have trouble finding a place to eat, eventually settling for a food truck. Tani feels like nothing went to plan today, but Suzuki says that she does not really care what they do, as long as it is together. As they are saying goodbye, Suzuki pulls him in and closes her eyes, with Tani giving her a hug and saying goodnight. But as he pulls away, Suzuki pulls him back in and gives him a kiss before embarrassingly saying goodnight and running home. Tani and Suzuki are awkward around each other the next day, discussing plans for the school trip. Yamada helps Nishi and Honda with some prep work, and Yamada asks Nishi to tell him when she will be free so they can be together during the trip. The next day, they are supposed to split into groups of 3, and Azuma worries she will be the odd one out, but Suzuki asks for an exception so they can all be together. The school trip begins, and Suzuki meets Nishi at their sweets class. After learning what they will be doing tomorrow, Suzuki realizes Yamada was influencing their group's plan so he could see Nishi. At their ryokan, the groups take turns using the onsen, and Suzuki talks with Azuma how she wants to do more romance things with Tani. They get out of the onsen, and Suzuki finds Tani, surprising him. Tani describes how he was fine being solitary before, but is also happy now getting to experience many new things. Suzuki calls him by his given name and says she loves him, but gets too embarrassed and runs away before he can respond. Nishi and Yamada end up at the same spot at the same time, but she is initially hesitant because he is with his friends. After some encouragement from Honda, she goes and talks with him, getting to take pictures with him and Suzuki. Later that night, Yamada asks to meet with her at the hotel, but Nishi is worried about other people seeing them together, so Yamada takes them to a quiet place. Before they head back to their rooms, Yamada asks Nishi for a date after the class trip, which she agrees to, realizing her true feelings for Yamada. Despite his bad experiences in the past, Taira realizes he is enjoying himself, but his self-doubt still holds him back. Tani is carsick from the bus ride, and he asks Suzuki stays outside with him before dinner, causing Suzuki to blush. On the last day, they are free to explore, so Tani and Suzuki have a date at an amusement park. When they meet with the rest of the group, they all have panda hats, including Taira, and Tani regrets not letting loose, with Suzuki saying they should come back someday. Nishi and Yamada have their first date, and Nishi makes an effort to dress cute, but she gets nervous and decides to take off her accessories. They visit Chinatown and Yamada talks the entire time, with Nishi too nervous to interrupt, but with Yamada's encouragement, they finally hold a conversation. Yamada grabs her arm to direct her, and Nishi slips their hands together. She thinks that Yamada is not fazed at all, but when they accidentally spot Tani and Suzuki on their date, it is revealed that he is shy too, and they run away before they can be spotted. Yamada picks up Nishi's dropped accessories and puts a hair clip into her hair. He is happy that she can look him in the eyes easier, and she promises to look him in the eye more on their next date. Rewinding back to the beginning of the day, it is revealed that Suzuki saw Yamada and Nishi earlier. Tani and Suzuki decide to go to the Ferris wheel, which she is excited for because of the manga she reads, but is too shy to do anything with Tani because people can see them. On their way home, and with no one around, they finally go in for a kiss, but they are interrupted by a passing car, which is revealed to be Suzuki's parents who give them a ride home. Later, Suzuki happily reflects on the changes happening across her friend group, including between her and Tani.